Then the music.
Razzle dazzle time.
Here we go.
I gotta pull that line from the show.
This is the time, this is the place, and this is FC3 Monkey Business, your one-stop shop for everything geeky. And since anything is geeky, if you love it enough, you never know what you're going to get. Welcome to episode 71.
Wow.
This is your host, IMC. This week we're going to be talking about Voltron with our very own Becca May. Becca. And then after that, stick around for upcoming events, our everyday heroes, shout-outs, and our question of the week. As always, in the studio with me is the legendary Billy DeTore.
Hi.
How you doing, Billy?
I'm good.
Are we having fun yet?
I am.
You the man.
I always have fun with you guys.
See, that's the best part. That's the best part. Also with us is the ever suffering Tanya, because she has to deal with Billy and I.
The ever effervescent.
Effervescent.
No, I think I'm fabulous.
That's
According
Tanya
to
Fabulous.
Tanya Fabulous,
according to Billy's wife,
your wife.
Susan.
Okay.
Yes. Hi.
Also in the studio with us today is the greatest intern we've ever had.
Tony? What? Tony?
Tony!
Where's Tony?
Tony!
You don't want me. I've been fired on air.
What's
So
that?
is Tony.
I've been fired on air.
Yes, see, and that is
And
our
Tony
lovely.
has moved up from intern.
He has.
Yeah.
Well, no, he went up to Stafford just so I can bop him
Bop
back
back
down
down
to intern and then fire him again.
Okay. No, we have Becca today.
We have a Becca.
I think Becca's my intern. I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I'm just existing right now.
Actually, well, aren't you more social media? So you're like
She's Laura's intern.
Laura's intern / Deanna's intern /
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
I'm
on the
falling
phone-
into Tumblr.
Can we get to the phone?
And-
We're going to
and
get to the phone.
Sherry's.
I'm going to get to the phone. It's
Yeah.
producer Sherry. Hi, producer Sherry.
Hello.
Her reach is long.
Her reach is long. We've already had that. See.
I was
And I want,
drinking.
just so we're clear,
Uh-huh.
I want to claim Becca as mine.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There's a fight over Becca right now.
You can claim Becca as your
Absolutely.
own.
You know what? It would be interesting to see. Instead of I want her, no, I want her, no, I want her. It's like you have her, no, you have her, no, you have her.
You take her.
You take her, damn it.
Then that means you do realize that
That's-
you have to drive up here and drive her home because that's
one of the
that's
things.
one of the things.
If
is,
you're going to claim her, you have to drive her around.
Okay, Chris.
Yes, dear.
Chris, no, we fight over Becca. We fight to get rid of you.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, that's going to
no,
be.
because then that makes me host.
That's going to be
That's not
easier.
happening.
That's going to be easier coming up.
Boy,
All right.
That's the point.
Who else do we have on the phone with
That's
us today?
the other Chris.
That's other Chris. Hi, other Chris.
I speak
Hi.
Chris.
We speak Chris. You speak Chris fluently?
Yes, it depends on which.
Because I am Chris and I don't even speak
No.
Chris fluently.
There's something about baking
no,
and
Chris Mark.
Okay. And then the ever wonderful hello monk.
Hello.
There
I was gonna
she
say,
is.
did we lose her?
The monkey wench. The monkey wench is here. All right, so that's the gang, and now we're going to. I have a list of things I have to cover here, and so I have sponsor shout-outs I'm going to touch on, and these are basically it's the same list as everything. So you got to love it. This is consistency at its finest. You got Knox. Craft
Yes.
cocktails and comfort foods at the Village Gate Mall. Selena's, best Mexican food in Rochester, also in the Village Gate Mall. Our buddies over on Buffalo Road, First Print Comics. The gang over on University Avenue, The Great Escape Room, where Billy still is, and we have to go rescue him.
Help!
He's in the library.
He's in the library with
I have
Professor
books.
Plum.
Yeah, so at least you have books.
That's it.
There's
You got
probably
some-
comics in there.
See, Sherry would be trapped in a library and not realize that she was actually trapped. Because
She'd be reading. Me too.
Did you see what a friend of mine posted on my wall recently about that they could make an escape room with of a well-stocked library with two completely marked exits, and
Yes.
I still wouldn't be able to get out. In
right,
an
two
hour.
completely marked and unlocked exits, and you'd still be you wouldn't be able to get out of there in an hour.
No, take at least an hour and a half
Yes.
minimum.
And our last sponsor shout-out will be for Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, the Doctor Who aficionados that they are, bringing us Caitlin Blackwood, the young Amelia Pond from the 11th Doctor's series there. All right. What else we got? We have no Patreon shout-outs this week, but we will mention that we have Patreon available. And if you go to the Patreon website, Patreon, patreon.com, look out for FC3 ROC. We have a variety of... What am I thinking of? What's the word I'm looking for? Levels.
Levels.
Membership levels.
Membership levels. Thank you.
Membership reward levels.
Membership reward levels. Yeah. Oh, God. Getting old. Anyway, that's happening.
Getting?
Getting?
Stop. Both of you.
Oh, Sherry, I love you.
God,
I'm
getting
already
nailed.
old.
I'm there. And
Tanya,
so,
is it your turn for the brain this week?
The what?
is it your turn
Is it
for the
your
brain
turn
this
for
week?
the brain, since we seem to share one?
Well, I think you've got half. I've got the other half. Are you a left or a righty?
I am a righty.
Okay, so we're both sharing
both-
our left mind. So
Okay.
I don't know. I think I left it away.
So, listeners, go to patreon.com, sponsor the show, love the show, and when you're done sponsoring the show, go out to Apple iTunes and iPlay and give us a 5-star review. Don't forget to keep those reviews coming on Apple Podcasts. Every 5-star review will be thanked on air, and any questions that you add to your review will be answered, except for what color underwear somebody's wearing. We're not probably
White.
White. Okay.
Billy will answer.
Billy, there's no fear. No
Nope.
fear. That's what we love about you, Billy.
Thanks.
So okay. So what happened? Everybody okay? Everybody's good?
I'm dog paddling.
You only
today.
dog paddle today?
Yes.
I've been up for so many hours getting ready for this episode.
Okay.
So if Becca falls asleep in between,
So Becca's
grab her
gonna
notes.
she's
You
gonna
guys
be
have got my
talking
notes.
in days of long. Becca's gonna read the opening from Days of Long. Becca.
I guess that's monkey business for this
That's
week.
it. All right,
Thanks,
there we go.
Becca.
It's all over. Somebody put Becca to bed.
She'll definitely have to be fired then.
Yeah, well, she's gonna be asleep, and we'll have to wait to wake her up and then fire her.
It's true.
What's wrong?
She's
What's
a
true?
researcher. She's mine.
Then you can have her.
Okay.
This sounds like a
fine.
Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson song. The girl is mine. The doggone girl is mine. No, Michael, she's mine.
No, you know what? Here's your non sequitur of the day. This is off topic, but I just recently finally saw Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Tell
Tells No Tales.
Tell No Tales,
It was
where
on
Paul
Netflix.
McCartney has the cameo in it as Jack's uncle. All right, and it's funny
But
as
he was his
hell.
father.
No,
No,
the
Uncle
father's Keith
Richards.
Richards.
Uncle Jack.
Yeah, it's
Uncle Jack.
Yeah, Paul McCartney plays Uncle Jack, and Keith Richards is
Okay.
is Captain Jack's father.
Okay.
Yeah, hey Jackie boy. But just to see Paul McCartney in the pirate makeup was just freaking hilarious. It was such a great piece. So anyway, but yeah, you brought that up because you mentioned Paul McCartney. So
Yes.
that happens. All right, so we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we are going to be having an in-depth chat about one of the great cartoons of all time. In its beginning
favorite.
and its current
Bugs Bunny?
permutations. Bugs Bunny,
No, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh, I love that.
Time.
And these are Paladins of Voltron that we're talking about here.
Paladins.
Paladins of Voltron. So, all right, so we'll be right back.
Are there nerds here tonight? Nerds! Yes! I'm so happy. So happy. I mean, when I was growing up, there was nothing cool about being a nerd. You had to hide from people, and you had to keep it inside, and now we can be out and proud about the nerdy things that we love. Like, when I was in grade school, I was into, like, chess club, Latin club, the D&D, computer camp, like, everything that made vaginas go away, I was way into. And that's no longer the case anymore, right? I mean, like, nerds are powerful. Like, pop culture is run by nerds. Like, even the redneckiest of rednecks has a smartphone, a DVR, a DSLR camera, a laptop, a desktop. Nerds make the shiny things that distract the mouth breathers. Like, that is why we are powerful, right? Like, ladies, I will you with my second place chess trophy.
Damn.
I have a first place chess trophy, but the second place has the bishop on top, and that is for you.
That was wrong.
That was brilliant.
Okay.
Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking.
Cooking with gas now.
Now we're cooking with power there. That
Chris
is
Hardwick,
awesome.
everyone. Chris Hardwick.
That was phenomenal. I love it. And this music is telling me everything I need to know because this is the
Go,
version
Becca.
of Voltron that I grew up with.
Yes.
This was the original series
This was
back in the
definitely
80s.
before Becca.
This was
way before me.
PB, not peanut butter, but pre-Becca.
Pre-Becca.
Yes. And what was it about this show? I mean, because this was really the cartoon that I remembered the most growing up.
All coming up into the
All
space
coming up
and
together
forming
and
the big
the
Zord,
five lions coming
Voltron.
together. And there have been many permutations of it since then that have kind of missed the mark. But now we've got this new series on
dimension.
Netflix,
The third dimension.
the Third Dimension. Voltron 4. It was all bad. And then, Vehicle Voltron back in the 80s, too.
Vehicle Voltron.
Oh, that was just, there were 15 cars and planes and submarines and stuff that slammed together to become Voltron. That was a weird one.
That was actually an extension of the original.
Right, because they actually did a
Hold on, I'm
crossover
looking
where the
at it
two
now.
Voltrons got together.
Wait a minute. No, I think that was...
Voltron
And
Vehicle
there was
Force.
supposed to be a third one, too.
Right.
Yes, 3 teams of 5 all-terrain vehicles.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you where they got inspiration for that
Land, sea, and air.
Yep. But then
geez.
now on Netflix, we have coming up,
Noted.
we have 4 seasons so far of Voltron Legendary
I seem to
Defender,
remember
Yes.
this.
which is a reboot of the original, not a sequel, but a reboot of it, and has been this great depth. I've loved the story. And season 5 was just the trailer.
They just
Becca?
announced.
The trailer just came out on Valentine's Day. And we're being promised like 6 episodes, I think.
Okay.
Is what I've heard.
Which is about average for the seasons of
It's
Voltron
like
so far.
Yeah.
6 or 8 usually.
So this cartoon, the basic premise is this: you have these 5 robot lions. They're piloted, so you have five pilots who are involved in the situation, and they go off. They beat the bad guys. They fight evil. They protect the good guys. And when things are really rough, they can slam together and become this ultra uber robot. It's like
form the
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and I'll form the left elbow.
I'm the leg.
I love this.
Oh my God, my favorite line of the first episode.
And then when the princess echoes it, she goes, "I'm a leg," and Hunk is like, "Yeah, I know, right? That's great." So Becca, I know that this is a big thing because we have a lot of cosplayers right now who like to dress up as the paladins, the 5 main characters, and this seems to be really getting some serious traction lately. What about the show that has gotten your generation's attention so vastly? Oh, she wasn't ready for questions.
Listen, I came prepared with theories.
She came to me. Okay, theories and fact. Don't ask me opinion. I wanted theory and fact. Theory and fact.
The characters are quite well developed at points.
Okay.
And they have really interesting chemistry with each other. And a lot of people are just gained traction in there, and they're just digging as deep as they can
Okay.
into these different characters' lives.
Okay.
Like just like how Lance could be viewed as the center of the team, or Laura could be viewed as the center of the team.
But it's really Pidge.
It's really
Of course, it's always
Oh my God. Pidge and Hunk are my 2 favorites.
Pigeon
Yes,
Hugger.
I think part of it is people can relate to them.
Okay.
I mean, especially
You got
like
5
the
different
teen-
personalities.
Because like a couple of them were in school.
Okay.
And when the series started,
Yeah.
so
Right.
They're
So it's
pretty
like
much in their teens.
they're in their teens, and then all of
Okay.
a sudden they're dealing with some of the stuff that people today are dealing with, like their father or their whatever is off at war and things like that, and they don't get to see him very often,
And the main 5 characters, it's the same, basically the same names from the series in the
original,
80s. So
yes.
we still have basically that continuity there. You have Keith, you have Lance, you have Pidge, Hunk, and then Princess Allura.
Allura.
And then with the new series,
friend.
they have the added character of Shiro, who kind of took the place of Sven, who was.
Sven did make an appearance.
He did make an appearance, which I
Just
thought was
get me to Space Hospital.
That's it. I thought that was a great little cameo, kind of a nod to the classic, the classic series. But you have these 5 space explorers, these 5 teammates, and they are the ones that are, the rise and fall of this thing. So Becca, you have a presentation in mind?
Yes.
You have 5 minutes. I'm kidding. I'm serious. Sherry, you should have seen the look of sheer fear that just spread across Becca's face right there.
5 minutes.
That's just she was like, wait, what?
I had all this research
Don't
planned
on my
for.
Becca.
I'm not
She's
gonna.
like, I had all this research planned for 5 minutes. Really?
I had to do
Becca?
it because
Say the words. You're fired.
no, you don't. Seriously, I'm the freaking vice president of the company.
Sherry, fire him.
Here he
I'm
goes.
allowed to fire him.
At least from the pot. No,
Okay.
because then
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, Becca! There are 5 pages of notes, front
did a
and back, so
research
10
paper.
pages total. She did a
did
full-on.
she annotate it?
Wow. Yeah, there's a bibliography there.
It's organized.
It's got a table of contents. And,
Double space times
That's
New
my
Roman.
girl.
and
That's my
and there's
girl.
and there's illustrations.
And there's illustration.
I'm
Oh,
impressed.
dear Lord.
I'm impressed.
I'm
gonna
waiting
give
for
her.
the report cover for
I'm going to
it.
give her an A for effort on this one. All right, so Becca, I'm going to give you the floor. Just go ahead and guide us through this journey. Are you going to do a comparison of the old series from when I was a kid to yours, or are you just going to be talking about your series?
There might be some comparisons that appear
Okay.
in looking at what might happen in the next season, but I'm mostly going to focus on what's been presented this series
All
and
right.
what it hints at for
All right.
following.
So if you, dear listener, has been a diehard follower of Voltron Legendary Defender on Netflix, you're going to get a lot out of this. If you're not, if you have not caught...
Pause it right now.
Pause right now. And
Spoilers!
there's going to be spoilers
Alert.
aplenty. We're going to tell you that right now. And also, we would recommend that you pause this particular podcast, go watch at least the first series, and you will...
They form a big Voltron line.
And even, seriously, even if you're our age, you're going to get
gonna
something
go
out
back
of
and
this.
watch
You're
it.
going to have fun with this.
Excuse me. Are they all in Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to have to leave. I'll be back.
Okay. We'll see you in a
Wait,
few...
how do you run the board?
Just push a lot of buttons.
Yeah, just
Bye, Billy.
just keep pushing buttons till we shows up.
There's a special button that just suddenly materializes in the room. There's Wheeze.
When's he coming back?
April.
Yeah. All right. So Becca, take us home on this one. Let's hear what you got.
All right, so first up, we've got Loverboy Lance. It's correct because it's true.
Okay.
He's been promised a character arc in this next season.
So he's been kind of a supporting character all along so far,
Yeah.
but now he's going to be like kind of one of the mains.
Something about him is we've never quite known his motives.
Uh-huh.
Like, we know he's there, he wants to support his team, but, like, we don't really know what's in it for him.
He's more than just the spastic glory hound.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a
So-
full flirt.
He's a what?
After Laura.
A flirt.
A
Oh, he's a
flirt.
flirt. Yes.
Yes.
And a bad one at that. I mean, he makes me look good.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but the thing is, so in the trailer for the new season, we see him taking a bit of command when he tells everyone to get to their lions.
Okay.
And so a lot of this one big thing everyone's thinking about is, will Lance become the next Black Paladin?
Okay.
Because there's a lot of debate over Shiro, which we'll get to later,
Okay.
because there's
And
stuff happening
not
there.
the Black Panther, but the Black Paladin.
Paladin.
Okay. Because I don't think Lance was from Wakanda.
No.
Okay. Just making sure I got that straight.
Yes.
Okay.
And massive question I've come
She's
across.
gonna kill me.
Massive question I've come across with like Lance being the Black Paladin is that really the right movement for him? Because he's been after glory for quite some time, and it's shown many times in the series that the Black Lion does not accept people just searching for glory. Seeing as how the Black Lion rejected Zarkon as soon as he wanted the lion for power. Instead, it formed a bond with Shiro through trust.
Right.
Like when he goes back and he's asking the lion, please trust me again.
Okay.
So, and also, putting Lance in the Black Lion could be a bit of a cheat, and it might reinforce the idea that you have to be in the Black Lion in order to be a good leader. And the writers of the show have suggested that the end goal might just be where all of the paladins are leaders in their own strengths, and it's each of them being an individual leader as a cohesive unit is what gets the end goal that they want.
Okay. That's very, very philosophical and dynamic. I'm liking that.
Because-
now, what you were saying that they're moving Lance towards this possibility of him being the Black Lion's pilot.
People are theorizing that,
What
but
would happen to Keith to make that happen?
we don't know what's happening with Keith. He almost died.
See, now you have to remember this is going to be. Go ahead and
Spoilers!
spoiler it for me because I'll still watch it anyway and still get a kick out of it. But I have not watched all of season
Now,
4.
Keith is the one that is part, was it Galra?
Galra.
Yeah,
Galra.
part Gara, which is new to this series. That they didn't even hint at that in
Right.
the original series that he was part bad guy. And he's been fighting that, I suppose, and doing a fairly good job of it. There's a lot of emo, I think, in Keith.
He has a mullet.
He has a mullet, and Keith
Keith?
needs to just kind of take a breather once in a while. Maybe you know what? I think Hunk needs to really get Keith drunk. Really, I think that'll help a lot. Go ahead, keep going. She's like, oh my God, I have 10 pages of notes. Chris, shut the hell up.
But yeah, another thing behind each of the members of Voltron being a leader in their own right is because when they give the backstory to Voltron, they show that each member of Voltron was the leader of their own world.
Right.
And it wasn't a military rank of this person's in charge with the Black Line and everyone else follows suit. They were all a part of a team where they were on equal ground.
Okay.
And
So it was like 5 kings,
Yeah.
all doing the same thing.
And it only started to fall apart because Zarkon was trying to take control of everything.
Right. Okay.
So there's that. But
Which is great because back the original series back in the 80s, it was basically a monster of the week kind of a thing. Here's our pet bad guy. Here's the aliens that are trying to make life miserable for us. They're going to have some sort of hanky little plot, and it's going to all unfold, and it's going to fall apart because we're smarter than the bad guys are. And they're going to send this giant beast to go stomping on everything because the plot didn't work. So they're just going to go ahead and try and now we're just going to form blazing sword. Everything's done. Roll credits. So there was this Monster of the Week kind of episodic feel to it. Whereas with this new series, you have character development, and you have story depth, and you have nuances, and you have subplots and backstories and whatnot. Yeah. So I love this new storytelling with this familiar aspect for me. So I'm sorry, keep going. Go ahead.
No, it's all good.
Having some fun.
Yeah, my opinion is that I think Lance should be back in the blue line if we're going to have his character arc, because that's his true element.
Uh-huh.
And that's where he's shown to be well, because like with the element of water, he's very patient, he's very fluid, he's able to be in whatever position the team needs him to be in.
Okay. Where Keith is the hothead.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a theory I'm about to get to right there.
Oh, here we go.
So
how many pages of theories do you actually have?
12.
Okay.
Okay, I have like 6 condensed pages of theories, but there were like 20 pages that I had to break down.
She is mini Sherry.
She really is a mini Sherry. I'm telling you, they even have the same.
Becca.
Love you too.
They even have the same hair color. They really do. I mean, there's a distinct. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I'm getting an evil look. It's the same evil look.
Hair color.
Yeah, you were a blonde. You're a redhead right now, but you were a blonde. Yeah.
I was.
When you were 17, you were a blonde. Becca's 17 and she's a blonde. I'm drawing conclusions based on the fact that I've known you for most of your life. Deal with it. Carrying on.
All right. Oh, actually, it says the 5th season will be released on March 2nd.
March 2nd?
I was close.
Okay.
March 4th, you said, which is March.
Hey, 2 days off.
Yeah, it's a Friday.
Seriously.
Don't they usually release on a Friday? Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even know when my own birthday is anymore, so she's allowed to go 2 days off.
September 2nd.
Okay, shush.
All right. So something that was brought up at the very end of season 4 was Lance telling Allura that she was the heart of Voltron. Now the question is she really the heart of Voltron, or is he only giving her that quality because she's currently in the Blue Lion, and Lance is the true heart of Voltron?
I think it's more along the lines of Allura's. She's got that royal authority, and she's brought everybody together, and she's smiling at me like, oh, you're so cute and stupid. Shut up.
But, the qualities of the heart. I've got a thing.
Oh, here we go.
That's somewhere in there. I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
But the qualities of the heart are like a caring individual that's the complete support of the team. And stereotypically, the heart has been defined as the chick. So if there's a female on the team, she's almost inevitably going to be the heart.
But in the nuance of this one, Pidge was a boy in the original series 30 years ago, but now Pidge is a girl who was dressed as a boy. It's right. The original Pidge was.
Well, yes.
Okay.
But
okay. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up now. I'm sorry.
So thinking of this, you would directly assume Allura is the heart of Voltron because she's connected to all of the lions through her life force, and she technically did bring all the paladins together.
Okay.
But if you really look at it, it was Lance who brought everyone together. He was the one who had a direct connection with each of the other paladins when they first came together.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and he was also the first person to interact with both Karan and Allura. And he's shown time and time again to be better than Allura at connecting with people. Whereas she does have her hothead moments when she's very distrustful of the Galra, just right off the bat. And Lance is like, hey, Blade of Marmora, they might be a pretty good ally.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And
that's cool. That's clever.
I don't know how much this is a spoiler alert, but I've been bopping around. It says the heart of Voltron is actually by the name of Zoe Ellis. It's from a book. And she's friends with Pidge, but she ends up piloting the White Lion.
Interesting.
And is the actual heart of Voltron.
You wrecked everything. You wrecked everything.
But I mean, it's a story.
So was it a book that was written or something? Or?
Yeah, it's a
short story,
something like that.
When was it written?
I am not sure. I want to say 2017.
Oh boy! So there's some fan fiction out there already.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's probably fan fiction that showed up as the moment
episode
everywhere. 1, series 1 popped
it's
up.
Everywhere.
I mean, 1,700 people have read it so far.
Well, 1701 now.
Yeah, well, I haven't read it.
I had to say 1701. That's like
This is
it's a favorite number.
Oh no.
That's a favorite number of mine. All right, carrying on.
All right, yeah. So the last part of Lance being the heart is Allura is actually set up to be more of the leader stereotype.
Okay.
Because the leader traditionally has the direct opponent within the show, and Allura has already been set up directly across Hagar, and it's starting to be set up where she's against Lotor.
Okay.
And the reason she's being pitted against Lotor, not Keith, is if you really look at it, Keith never moved out of the right-hand position, even though he did technically become the leader. He was still the hothead that kept going too far and never really considered what was happening to plan things out.
Well, he's had a couple things happen to him. It's kind of taught him some hard lessons.
Yeah. He has learned, but like right off the bat, he was very against becoming the Black Paladin. And neither Zarkon nor Lotor never really recognized him as a true opponent. Not because they were like, oh, I'm so much powerful than you, but they just didn't see him as the leader.
They were focusing on other faces. Gotcha.
And Lance's first priority is always support, shown again in the show. Like, even though he does want his moment of glory, he's shown to excel when he's supporting others.
Well, he liked to fashion himself as the marksman, the sniper in the background. So, and that's not a frontline position.
It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
He excels in the background.
Yeah, so that
he's
speaks
a hero
to it.
that's like kind of pushed to the side, even though it tends to be one of the most important because he's always watching his teammates' backs. And he's just watching them with a sniper rifle, just like
that's this one over here. That's Tanya. She's the one she's never the front line. She's always in the background, making sure that everybody's, she's with Sherry herding the cats.
It's hard to herd cats.
It is, but you do
Especially
it well.
if I'm one of those kittens that need to be herded.
Anyway, all right, so carrying on.
Yeah, Lance was just a really critical part of the team, especially in Season 3 after Shiro disappeared. He was one showing you, he was like the emotional support for a lot of the team. He was the first to go and support Keith, like both before he was shown to be the Black Paladin and afterwards.
Right.
He very quickly pushed aside his own desire for glory to support his own teammate.
And that's why Red got his attention.
Yeah.
Because there was a great scene where he's trying to get into to Blue, and Blue won't let him in anymore. He's like, wait, what's going on here? Stop that. Blue, come on.
That was heartbreaking.
It was funny. It was an interesting moment. Monk, you're a big fan of the show, right?
I just started watching it for this podcast.
Okay.
And I'm not even full through the first season yet. But literally my favorite characters so far are Pidge and Hunk. And my favorite line of the first episode was, I'm away!
Yeah. Hunk. And Hunk is that relatable character to just about everybody because he is just so enthusiastic. He sees the world so purely, he boils things down very easily. He doesn't like to get into complexities, but he's still very capable. He's not stupid.
Yeah.
Like in the original series, he was just basically the big dumb, the bruiser who was there for the muscle, and but you're seeing a much better version of the character here.
Yeah.
And just. When they first formed it in the first season, the very first time that the Five Lions come together, and he's just the sheer joy. I'm a leg.
And when they're switching around, seeing who's going to be the next Black Paladin, he's like, "Well, I wanted to form the head with the yellow lion."
Yeah. He didn't want to be apart from his. He was like, no, I want to do this my own. Over here with my boy. So you can see that loyalty, that sense of loyalty to it. And all right, cool. What else you got for me?
All right.
Are we dipping into fan theories yet, or you got more on your?
That's been fan theory.
Oh, okay. So we got more Lance stuff going on here. Or?
I think we can push Lance to the side just for a second.
Everybody else
revisit
does.
him again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone does.
Everybody else does. So okay. So we'll say goodbye to Lance for a little bit. What else you got for me?
So we're going to bring up the question about Shiro. Is he a clone, or could he be corrupted by his Galra arm?
I don't know. That's like something that I was like looking at season 4, and I'm like, ooh, something's going on with him. I want to.
Definitely happening.
I'm thinking clone.
I'm
leaning towards that, but
I'm very well disprove your clone theory.
All right, so disprove your clone theory. I have a theory on my own, but you go ahead with your disprove the clone theory, and then I'll say my opinion.
All right, so the theory is Shiro's not actually a clone, but he's being like corrupted or controlled by his arm.
Okay.
Because there's no way Hagar and the Galra would have given him this mechanical arm with the intention of letting him being able to rebel against the Empire. So
he's being controlled by them.
That's a theory because Hagar has been shown time and time again. She has the ability to manipulate quintessence and like poison it, and so she might have been able to thereby poison his quintessence through his arm, and it could explain why he's making such weird decisions. Like if you look at the mission with Noxella, he was the main brain behind that, and when they finally took over the planet, Hagar was pleased.
So
Like,
so
she
you're
had
saying
been
there's a
the
long game going
mastermind.
on. There's a chess game going on there.
She could have been the mastermind behind all of that.
Gotcha.
And another thing behind the clone theory is that everyone seems to have like their own individual quintessence, right?
Uh-huh.
It's
the Force.
Yeah.
It really is. That's basically the Voltron universe version of the Force.
So theoretically, a clone would have its own individual quintessence.
Okay.
It might have been closer to the originals, but it would still be different enough that the Black Line wouldn't recognize the clone.
Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. I get what you're going with
His
it.
quintessence being corrupted could also explain why the Black Lion wasn't powering up for him off the bat.
Right.
Because it's like, something's fishy here.
Yeah, because the lion, no joke. It doesn't play. It's like it knows something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'm thinking that there's going to be. Here's my theory. In season 5, what's going to happen is that the gang they're going to trap Shiro, and they're going to get the mask off, and they're going to find out it was Mr. McGillicuddy, who was the caretaker of the old corner store. And then
would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you darn kids.
Don't kids and they're freaking lying.
And we broke Becca.
No, we did that a long time ago. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Becca. I will take your notes more seriously, and maybe.
Another thing against the clone is that why would they have put us through the episode The Journey where Shiro is escaping from the Galra again and getting back to the Paladins? Why would they show that if he was just a clone?
Okay.
Because they could have gotten over that in a much shorter period.
Right.
In order to just...
But they spent some time on that.
They spent some significant time.
Right.
And he still had his characteristics of, like, his determination to survive and all of that. It was still there.
Right.
And one more thing is, this is a really nitpicky detail I didn't notice until I was looking into it, is that his arm, the very first time he activates it, it only goes up to the wrist, and he's, like, in pain the first time he activates it. And there's, like, black magic swirling around it.
Okay.
And it just, like, dissipates for some reason. And then he's just able to use his hand freely as a weapon.
Okay.
And from that point on, it lights up to his elbow.
So what's your theory on that one? Help me out with that.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
When he returns in Season 3 and Season 4, it's only lighting up to the wrist. It's no longer lighting up to the elbow.
I see. So are you thinking this is... Because is this just something that maybe the animators missed? Or is this something...
I don't think so.
You think this is
with the deliberate changing of his haircut and all those small nuances that everyone's getting annoyed with, which is why people think he's a clone.
Okay.
The differences mean something.
Okay.
Because animation is all about visual storytelling.
Okay.
So
that's, by the way,
means something.
that's the quote of the episode right there. And that's something I want to be able to touch on is how that's evolved over. And we're going to have an animation episode coming up.
Or very well could be that they had to bring him back sooner than what they truly wanted to.
Because he was such a popular character?
Oh, no, they did. There's actually articles. They had to bring him back.
They had to bring him back. I'm reading Den of Geek right now because it says...
I read that article.
It says, the simplest is, he had to come back. That's pretty much it. The producers, executive producer Joaquim Dos Santos said, we wanted him to be gone much longer than the period of time, and we weren't allowed to. The higher up said he has to come back because Shiro's got to sell toys.
Okay.
I mean, it's
the great,
it's a
that's
money
the,
market
yeah,
type
that's
thing.
the thing. And that's the almighty dollar is the great detriment to most
so
stories.
I'm going to throw that out there as devil's advocate. Maybe the animators are like, you know what? We're going to start playing with this just a little bit to have.
Or maybe they rushed and the person who was behind Shiro didn't understand the depth of what was going on with the person who was originally drawing Shiro. You know,
we don't know.
So there's some, but now it doesn't play.
It says
doesn't play into fan theory.
It says with the action figures of the Paladins hitting stores around the time where Season 3 debuted, Shiro included. That makes sense.
Okay.
So.
All right.
One last thing about the arm is there's this one vision that happens where Shiro is like has like a nightmare, and there's this other Shiro who has yellow eyes and is like quite obviously like completely under the control of the Galra. And they've nicknamed him Kuro. People are like that.
Yeah.
And his prosthetic only lights up to the wrist.
Uh-oh.
Connected.
All right. I'm going to give you a few more minutes. Give me some other go wild fan theory. Have some fun. Tell me some of the weirdest stuff about it. You got it?
Weirdest stuff about what?
Well, the people, the relationships, what could possibly be happening in the future? What can we expect?
You want me to go into shipping?
Oh God, no shipping, no shipping,
You said
please,
relationships.
no. Oh, I did. I meant relationships between the characters in the story and Yeah, oh, crap.
Well, allegedly there's a relationship between Lance and Keith.
Oh, God, no.
Ooh, you want to hear about that one?
No, I don't.
Keith isn't necessarily denying it.
I've seen everything conceivable.
Monk wants to hear it.
Monk wants to hear the shipping.
Monk wants to hear. Okay.
Give a couple of choice ones, just a couple. Let's not go too deep into that rabbit hole, please.
Okay. Here, I'll give a general idea of what people are talking about
All
currently.
right. Go ahead.
Is in the trailer, there's a scene where Lance is like in that super anime style, and he's like very angrily pushing the lever in the Red Lion, which directly parallels an almost exactly similar scene with Keith in the Red Lion from like season 1. And people are like, oh, Lance is starting to take charge. Maybe we'll have Keith and Lance as co-leaders of Voltron. Ooh.
Okay.
And there's also hints about Lance being bisexual and all that. It's a journey.
Is that a thing now?
I can tell you where the bisexual Lance came from.
Tell me.
A year or so ago, it was quite some time ago. The company behind Voltron put out this photo where it was like each of the 5 paladins and Allura, and they were each holding like a sign. Not each of them, like 2 holding a sign. There was like race, gender, and LGBT or something like that. And Lance was one of the people holding the LGBT. And people were like,
so that automatically... Wow.
Lance must not be straight.
Oh, my God. You know...
I think there's other evidence to support that, but I don't know it.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch, but okay.
You want to hear the biggest stretch?
Tell me a biggest stretch.
Okay. People are saying... So, the blue lion is viewed as, like, a female lion. Okay. Lance refers to her as she.
Right.
The black lion is referred to as he, along with the red lion. And when Lance tries to go into the black lion and comes back to the blue lion, he's like, Blue, it was just a phase. And they're like, oh, directly parallel. He was into girls, but no, he's into boys. No, it was just a phase, but no, he's back to a boy, and it's Keith's lion. God. I have seen hell.
Wow, you have most of the 9 planes at this point, I'm going to say. Now, I'm hearing bits and pieces about a possible white lion. Is that a thing? That we might be seeing in the 5th?
I haven't been able to catch it in the actual trailer. I guess it just happens way too fast for me to notice.
Okay.
But there are people out there that have caught screenshots. And it directly connects the white lion to Allura.
Okay.
And it seems that she's the one to discover it. So back in Defender of the Universe, the 80s series.
Right.
The white lion was a trick used by Haggard to trick Allura, so Haggard could capture her. And Allura had believed that the white lion was the spirit of her father who would help her become a stronger warrior.
Right.
And a lot of people think that the white lion is going to be a 6 mecha that's going to be piloted by Allura.
Okay.
And the trailer does, like I said, directly link the white lion and Allura. But the screenshot people have managed to get, it looks like the lion is like a living lion, not a mechanical lion.
Interesting.
And so the theory is maybe the white lion is a lion goddess.
Okay.
And the theory from like interdimensional,
or maybe
reality.
Maybe it's episode 5. Voltron gets a pet.
Or as opposed to 80s hairband White Lion.
There it is. Nice. There we go.
Oh, brother.
You know, on that, you know what? Let's fade out to a break, and then when we come back, we'll finish this conversation up and we'll move on and finish off our podcast for the day. We're gonna we'll give Becca a chance to breathe.
Wait, Sherry?
Yes?
Did I hear you trying to break in there for a sec, or am I wrong?
Nope.
Okay. Then we go to break with White Lion.
All right, we'll be right back.
Someone told me they made the first Star Wars movie, the entire cast and crew was on drugs because it was the 70s. They had some wild times back then or something. That kind of seems to make sense. Can you imagine a writer's meeting for the movie Star Wars? Be like, okay, dig this, man. His name's Chewbacca. He's a Wookiee. No, those are his lines. Write that down. Spell it right. All the other writers like, George, you want to take a break? It's like, what if you're an actor in the 70s auditioning for the part of a Wookiee? That's got to be embarrassing, right? It's like, next.
He's dancing again.
Break through the moon.
And that's so we started the podcast with the original theme from the 80s, and now that was the theme from the new Netflix series. We were talking about Voltron. Our intern Becca May is doing a great deal of research because you can tell this show is real. This is your jam. Am I right? Is this like one of your top 10?
This is big for me right now.
This is a big
What
thing
other
for
one
you right
would you
now?
research?
Ooh, I wouldn't mind. I'm going to have to think about that one. Because Doctor Who could be interesting, but I haven't kept up with that one in a while.
You don't get to research Doctor Who. That's that one.
No, she can research all she wants. You know, it's very likely that she could find something I didn't know, which would be amazing for me. I would love that. That would be an awesome moment for me.
Oh, I'd be interested in Ruby.
Challenge accepted.
There
Ruby.
it is.
Ruby, yes.
Ruby,
Okay.
I would be interested in going down that rabbit
Okay,
hole.
I did watch the season 1 Ruby. That was interesting. All right, so we were talking about Voltron. We were talking about some theories, some fan theories, and we touched on the White Line. I remember back when I was Becca's age, a long freaking time ago.
Galaxy far, far away.
And we were all big Voltron fans ourselves back in high school, and we had theories that a White Line would exist, and it would be a 6th mecha, and it would be able to fill in for any of the other ones.
Because the castle never flew.
Yeah,
before,
the castle didn't flow. No, it did actually.
Did it?
It did once in the original series. But there's a lot of other things about the castle, and that's a whole other podcast. But my whole theory on the White Line was that if, like, the blue line was missing, the White Line could take its place. If the red line was missing, the White Line could take its place. That was that kind of like that. It would be the Swiss Army lion, in essence, that kind of a thing. But, so it'll be interesting to see if it makes an appearance in Season 5, if they do something interesting with it. That'll be interesting. So, but, Becca, you're saying that there are folks that are thinking that White Line's gonna pop up.
Yeah, because in the trailer they've got
A little glimpse of it.
Glimpse
A little glimpse
what
of it.
appears to be a live lion. So
All right.
the theory is maybe it's just a lion goddess from in between realities, and it was the factor behind the comet that ended up creating the Voltron lions, and it's why Alfor made them to be lions. And it also explains why Lotor's ships that he's making from the inter-reality comet, it's why they aren't also in the shape of lions.
Oh, so he's making his own Voltron? Is that something that's happening?
It appears to be he's trying to make kind of an anti-Voltron. What is it called?
So he
Syncline.
Is it going to have a goatee?
But they're going to be anti-paladins.
Anything from an evil alternate universe has to have a goatee.
Lotor and his generals have been set up to directly go against each of
the
paladins. Yeah.
All right.
They
And
each have their own counterpart.
now we're looking at Lotor as there was the whole theory about Lotor friend or foe. Is he?
There was a poll that went up. It was on Instagram, I think. I don't know why they went to Instagram. That's a bad place. But yeah, they put up a poll and they were like, hey guys, is Lotor a friend or is he a foe? And 59% of the people that replied said he was a friend.
Well, how many people voted to kill Jason Todd back in Batman?
God.
This don't ask the fan base for anything. You're going to get some weird ass responses. That's for damn sure. All right, so this is a show that has definitely captured the imagination of definitely the current generation and those before and after it as well. I mean, I've enjoyed watching the show myself, even more than I think my kids have in some cases. For me, it's a touch of nostalgia because it's a remake of a cartoon that I enjoyed when I was in my teens, but then they've added story and they've added depth and they've added character interaction, which makes it that much better than the average Saturday morning cartoon. So we can talk about this show probably for days. And
yes.
Becca's like, oh yeah. Becca has another 10-page paper that she wants to write just about season 5.
She'll pick apart
the
each
teaser
episode.
of season 5. She's got a 10-page paper about the teaser alone.
I dare you to try writing something about Captain Planet.
See? Oh my God.
Give me a week.
Challenge accepted. Do not throw a research project at Becca. She will take it.
Becca, will you lose all respect for me if I tell you that I never really watched Voltron?
Nah, it's cool.
It's all good, Cher. She still loves you, honey.
You have to start.
When I was a kid, my jam was Battle of the Planets.
Oh, the Phoenix Force. Yes.
Those are the ones I loved. And I can remember playing those characters on the playground at my elementary school.
Did you guys go link hands and swirl around the merry-go-round or something like that?
We didn't have a merry-go-round, but I had a friend who could do Keop's voice perfectly.
Oh, wow. Now that's
Yeah.
something.
That's how old I am. When I was growing up, I watched Battle of the Network Stars.
There we go.
Oh, I love that.
That was a great show.
No one could beat Robert Conrad at the tug of war.
Absolutely. He took on like half the cast himself, single-handedly. And he would have a battery on his shoulder in the process.
Don't mess with Pappy Boyington from Bob Black Sheep.
Not a chance. Not a chance. All right. So, like I said, we'll talk about some Voltron some more. I definitely want to. I have to catch up on it, and then when season 5 hits in March, we'll take a moment to talk about it after we've had a chance to binge it.
Oh yeah.
Becca's like, yeah. As soon as Netflix posts it up, Becca will have watched all 6 episodes in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds about right.
Yes.
Actually,
You can't watch
brings
it in
up
30 minutes.
That brings up a
Try
thing.
me.
I've got a question. When you binge watch something, because I do something that drives my wife crazy.
You're a
so,
completist.
well, not just that, but like I'm a huge fan of Black Mirror.
Okay.
But I'll watch an episode,
Start watching
then
that.
spend the next hour researching theories, other people's reactions, reviews. It'll take me 30 hours to watch 6 episodes.
You
Okay.
are Sherry's spirit
So,
animal.
Billy, apparently I'm your wife. Jerry does the same stinking thing.
Yeah.
That's my geekiness. If I am interested in something, I want to know everything about it.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, you're
Okay.
not the only one.
No.
I too have found myself traipsing around like IMDb. I'll bring up an episode or a particular movie I watch, and I will go through the trivia page of that. And sometimes that will lead to bigger and better things. So I'm not nearly as into it as you guys are, but I'm guilty of it as myself. So I understand that need to understand details. I get that.
All right.
All right, so that's that. So we're gonna.
When I have a question about something, that's when I start hunting down.
Uh-huh.
But
At that
don't
point,
really
wouldn't you
need to
just
do it
ask
right
your
away.
wife?
Yeah. Well, see, at that point, that's a fear because if I were Chris, I would not ask Sherry because then that would lead to a 30-hour
Discussion.
research paper. So that's it.
Well, if he wants some
we
peace and
have
quiet
lots
from
of
her,
discussions
go ask her
about
that
that.
question.
That's it. Listen, we got some short segments to finish up before we wrap this podcast up. So let me jump on that. We do have events coming up on March 24th and 25th at the Strong Museum of Play. We are going to be at Superheroes Weekend.
Woohoo!
And that's a great time. Every year
Everyone can be a paladin from Voltron.
There you
that
go.
weekend.
I know some of the folks who cosplay at FC3 do the Paladins, and they do a great job. I love
I know a
watching
Keith.
it. I know a couple of Keiths, but yeah.
Becca's usually Steve Rogers.
Yes. And then we have our sci-fi quiz coming up March 24th. It's the same day. It's Saturday. It's going to be a busy
Saturday
weekend
night.
for us. Saturday night at Knox Craft Cocktails
Remember
and
to get
Comfort
your tickets
Foods.
for FC3.
If you have a ticket for FC3 already before the sci-fi quiz, there will be drink specials for you waiting at Knox. So keep that in mind. Hey, Everyday Heroes. On this week, Everyday Heroes, we want to give a shout out to Rochester Firefighters Local 1071. And that's great because we are episode 71 today. So this is kind of cool how that
perfect.
fits together. So Rochester Firefighters Local 1071, these amazing people put their lives on the line for us, and we want them to know that we appreciate them to no end. They also want you to know that if you are cold, they are cold. Please make sure that fire hydrants are clear of snow so they can be easily found in the case of an emergency. Thank you for being our heroes, guys. And always remember, not all heroes wear capes. And then we're going to wrap today up. Our new segment, Question of the Week. And we're going to ask the same question we did last week. What's making your little geeky heart happy? We're doing that today. I see that in my notes.
A little bit different this week.
Fire away.
Not what it is this week is, what are you looking forward to either reading, listening to, watching, or doing in the near future?
I will answer for Becca.
Y'all
All she
have
did
my
was hold up.
answer.
She held up her research paper for Voltron, so she is seriously looking forward to Series 5.
Because this episode's dropping the week Voltron comes out.
Yes, it is. It
So
will be.
It'll drop on Wednesday, the 28th of February.
Well, by the time this is dropped, Becca will have watched all 6 episodes 5 times.
I thought this comes out
This episode's coming out on the 7th.
The 7th, March 7th.
Yep, and
I
Voltron's dropping on the 2nd.
I forgot Filk was split into 2.
Right, Phil got
We'll
split into
see
2
if I
seconds.
was right.
So there you go.
If you can watch them all in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Billy, is there something you're looking forward to that's nice and geeky?
Yeah, in about 2 hours, I'm going to see Black Panther.
Beautiful. It's awesome. Oh my God, what a good movie. What a really you're going to
Just
enjoy
don't
it.
sit in like the third row, so you're
Yeah, sit about
No,
midway.
actually, last row of the recliners in the Webster.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. You're going to have a great time, I promise you. Sherry, how about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I have to say, we've been holding off going to see Black Panther because we were supposed to all watch it together.
Oh, yeah. That's going to happen.
That's still going to happen.
For the first time together.
I couldn't necessarily guarantee that I would be available on that Sunday.
My teenage
I'm just teasing.
on the
I'm
day that we go to
teasing
see
you
it
guys.
together,
I'm
my
teasing you
teenage
guys.
daughter is going to be out of town, and she desperately wanted to watch it with me because she loves watching Marvel movies with me. So how am I going to to turn down a 16-year-old girl? It's just not going to happen.
I know.
Daddy's
I'm
a little
just
girl.
teasing.
Please,
No,
please.
That was about what she said, actually.
Okay, what I'm looking forward to, I don't know if it's exactly geeky, but our Central New York Roller Derby League is having our 10th anniversary.
Outstanding.
And we're doing a logo launch party, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've been working very hard on planning that, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Beautiful. That is definitely exciting. How about you, Chris? What you looking forward to?
Black Panther as well.
Okay. How about you, Monk? Same thing?
And maybe not shoveling.
And not shoveling.
Oh, yeah.
You can thank Angie for that.
Yeah.
I was shoveling at 4:30 this morning.
Oh, dear Lord.
You guys have snow?
Really? We got like a
We
dusting.
got about 6 inches.
Holy cow, we have maybe about an inch.
Nah,
If that-
not even that. It was a dusting.
A trace.
But we get clobbered. We get our fair share. How about you, Monk? What you looking forward to?
Currently what I'm looking forward to is actually our cosplay karaoke.
Okay.
It will have happened by the time this airs.
Yes.
So,
Are you singing?
no, but I'm cosplaying.
Oh, she's going to cosplay, and then let's listen to people do that. How about you? Did I already ask you, Tanya? What are you looking forward to?
Well, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the cosplay karaoke.
Yeah.
And the day after this episode drops, it's a very special day.
It's your birthday.
It is my birthday. the
Yeah,
day
March
after
8th is the Tanya Day.
So I am apologizing now for any snowmageddon that would be hitting New York or ice storm.
Her birthday
or,
can get a little snowy sometimes.
Yes.
That has happened.
In the last 45 years, it's been like twice where we haven't had
Mm-hmm.
some natural snowmageddon type thing.
If it gets me out of school, it's okay.
Okay. Hey, I was at Nazareth for the 91 ice storm, and
There
that
you
was
go.
the week.
Was it Fisher?
That was the week I got sent home. So, but
I'm looking
I'll be
forward to something.
46.
Wow. No.
Yes.
You don't look that old.
Oh.
You look like you're at least, 45.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
So you're just slightly less than 2 months older than me. 3 months.
Okay. Just slightly.
Yeah, something like that. And what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to a couple of things this year.
Not killing our characters this afternoon.
No, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Infinity War,
Ooh.
which is coming up soon.
Ooh, the Solo
The
story.
Han Solo movie. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Deadpool 2 is May.
There's
I
a
am
ton
looking
of-
forward to
there's a
May.
ton
You
of
know
good
what
stuff.
I'm doing for Deadpool? I'm skipping ball, and I'm going to see Deadpool.
That's
Good for you.
That's insane, but okay. More power to you. And I am later this year. I am very much looking forward to
FC3?
seeing Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. I want to see that in action.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
in
forward to
between-
that. In between all that is FC3
FC3.
2018, and that's obvious. That's a natural thing, but there you have it. So lots of things to look forward to, and now I'm going to look forward to the out cue, which is about to happen, and there it is. And this has been Monkey Business, episode 71. I don't know why I've been latching onto that today, but this is a product
Were
of the
you
Mighty
born in
Monkey
71?
Corporation. No, 70.
70.
Mighty Monkey Corporation, the purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic Con, coming at you on June 9th and 10th of 2018 at the Rochester Riverside Convention Center. Follow us on Facebook, love us on Patreon, and we will see you all next week. Have a great one, people.
Woohoo!
Dun, dun.